Hey, so recently I changed my journaling habits and I wanted to share that with you. Just a little update on what kind of notebooks I've been using and what purpose they serve. I wanted to go a little bit more in depth with each one. So currently I'm really only using two notebooks right now, and I'm journaling in my standard size and I'm planning in my passport size. So a little bit of a switch from what I had been doing previously in April. And I really only implemented this switch since May 10th. So it's now the end of May. I don't have very much to show you, but it's still, I think, pretty exciting, at least to me in my own little world. So here's what I got. I think I'll start with the journal side of things because I have been a lot more active in here. I've been doing more memory keeping, more fun stuff, and less planning. So here's what we got. Of course, these covers are the only traveler's notebook covers that I have. This is the brown one in the regular size, and this is the camel one in the passport size. And I've had these for so many years now. They are definitely holding up really well, as they were meant to. And I really only have one insert in each one. Of course, I have like this little wallet one, which you've probably seen before if you've been following me for a while. And I just stuck a bunch of things in here. So since my last YouTube video, I've also done a lot more new things in the shop. So one of those is these updated freebies. And you can get a random assortment of these when you get something from my shop as a way to say thank you. I've also added vinyl stickers. These are waterproof, super durable, and I have these made. So these are super fun, and I like to decorate all sorts of things with them. And I also made new thank you cards for my shop. So I've just been really productive in that realm, but just haven't been able to sit down and film an actual YouTube video, which is why I'm really excited to do that now. And then I also have some photos, and I've been doing a lot of photo journaling. So I'll talk more about that in a second. So what else do I have in here? Oh, just a few scraps of washi tape, some stickers. And then these are what I'm really excited about. And earlier this month in May, I decided I really wanted to revisit the style of journaling that I had been doing in 2018. I was printing out a lot of pictures and sticking them in my journal pages. So I've already gone ahead and covered up my kids' faces in here. I take a lot of photos of my kids. Just, yeah, get ready for that. I don't post them on social media, and I don't have a personal social media account to post them on. So I don't want to put them on the internet, but since I'm doing a YouTube video, I just decided to put a little piece of post-it note on their faces. And then besides photos, I also have book covers and different shows, movies, and whatnot that I want to watch in the future and want to write about and journal about. And then these are some icons, little emojis that I wanted to use. So these are all personal use stickers. And if you didn't know, I have my own sticker shop. So I already had all these materials on hand, and I thought, you know what, I need to get more creative with my journaling. I just felt that need. So I made my own photo stickers. And you'll see that in practice in here. This is the graphite 3.5 millimeter Tomoe River paper insert from my shop. And as you can see, I decorated it with some of my new vinyl stickers. And then I put one of those little labels. My machine that I have to do this is so crappy, by the way, and it just never does the R right. It doesn't punch right. I want to get a vintage one because those are so much more durable. But yeah, so I really like these color wheel one, next to the Polaroid one. So starting on May 10th, I just really wanted to do a new style of journaling, or like go back to that style of journaling that I really liked. And yeah, I think it's been working out really well. Prior to this, I had been doing whatever I could in my passport size, and previous to that, it was in A6 Sterling ink notebook. I just really did writing. I didn't put any photos in there, and I did very minimal stickering, but I really missed doing like more of this sort of thing. And I think I had the capacity to do that before kids. And then once I had kids, I didn't have the time and energy. And even when I regained that time and energy after my kids were old enough, I still felt like almost felt like I was holding myself back from doing this kind of journaling, because I guess like because I was out of practice, and then also because I felt like I didn't know what to do with having kids in my pictures. Like prior to having kids, I was just taking pictures of me, my friends, my dogs, stuff I was enjoying. But then now I'm always taking pictures of them. I love them. I journal about what I love. So like I felt like that was an obstacle that I didn't know how to get over. And I was like, well, I share my journal on the internet, so therefore I cannot journal about my kids. And then I just realized, I was like, that is so silly. Like I should be journaling about what I want to journal about, and not letting like my like rule get in that way. And there's like a workaround to it, and that is post-it notes. Like I was like, oh, I don't want to figure out how to blur it or like do that in post. And I was like, no, analog, dude, just put some post-it notes down. So that's kind of like my thought process with that. And I've been journaling about gardening, and also, like I said, books that I've been reading. And that's just something else that I really miss too, is like reading a lot. I used to be a very avid reader, and I feel like I'm finally doing those things again. That's really all I'm writing about in here, like things that I am really passionate about, things I love, people I love, all the memories that we're making together. And all of the heavy stuff, I'm leaving that out. I have a therapy journal. I briefly went over that in a previous video, but I just decided to separate all that because, like, I don't want to be talking about people who've harmed me in the past and put them next to these people who I love and have wonderful relationships with now. Like, I don't want to be looking back in my old age and looking at, my children and whatnot, and then see a name that will bring back like awful memories and emotions. Because that's what was happening with my old journals that I have now. I would keep it all in one volume, all in one notebook, put all of my venting next to my pleasant memories, and then I would go back wanting to go down memory lane, but then I would see something that would trigger me and then send me into a spiral. So that's why I'm kind of separating those journaling things. And it's not only the content of the journals, but the style is completely different as well. So like this is very like planned out, well, like I guess like aesthetically pleasing layouts and whatnot. But with my therapy journal, I'll literally just scribble and like a mad woman and just like let my words flow in cursive and do whatever I want in that. It's very freeing in a way, and I don't have to worry about ruining like the aesthetics of this journal. So if that's something that you're struggling with, like consider dedicating certain subjects to different journals. Like it's totally okay to have more than one journal. So this is a Mother's Day spread, super cute. And then I had this like 8.5 by 11 paper from my son, and he did one of those fun little like all about my mom, and the teacher asked the questions like about your parent, and then they answer it. And I thought it was so funny. Like I love this so much. Like her job is she does a sticker shop. Her favorite thing to do is paint. My favorite food apparently is tomatoes, because it's not tomatoes. I love tomatoes a lot, but it's not my favorite food. And I think it's just because like during this gardening season, I've been talking nonstop about my tomato plants. So he probably thinks that my favorite food is tomatoes. He said, my mom always says everything, which is like so true. I talk so much that sometimes they like tell me to be quiet, which I totally understand. My favorite thing to do with my mom is color, and then I love my mom more than sky. By the way, I'm 23 years old, but yeah, I'm literally not. I'm like 33. But I just love this so much, but I didn't want to put the whole 8.5 by 11 letter size paper in here. So I just scanned it and then shrunk it to a quarter of the size. Or like, I forget how small I made it, but you know, I made it so that I could still read it, but stick it in my journal. I just got a huge kick out of that. I hope they do it for Father's Day. And if the teacher doesn't do it, I'll do it. You know, I want to see what they say about Sam. But yeah, so I've been doing a lot of writing here. And I will still process things, but just not like my super heavy shit. Like, I just saw that I started processing like a little bit of struggles with creativity and work. Like, that's totally fine. That's not going to trigger me. It's not related to like my trauma, which is very heavy, and I don't want to even open that up on the internet. But yeah, like things about, oh, like I'm feeling anxiety about like my identity and related to YouTubing. Like, that's something yeah, it's not as heavy as like some of the shit I've been through. So, I mean, it could be related, but it's not like, it's not that deep. So, yeah, this is my journaling about journaling kind of thing. Very meta. I definitely write a lot about my hobbies in here. So, journaling is one of them. You'll literally find pictures of my journals and my trackers in here. I like to reflect on how these things work for me, and I just enjoy it. So I write about it. And I've been using a lot of the new stickers that I have in my shop. So the bubble tea and the moon, all that stuff, I've been really just testing it out in here. And I just love that. I just love giving myself more opportunities to use these things that I'm making. It's very fun. So yeah, more pictures of my plants and stuff. These are my irises. They are not even in blooming anymore. They have such a short blooming time frame, but they're so beautiful when they do bloom. And I had a question. I don't remember if it was YouTube or Instagram, but somebody asked me like what my thought process is when I collage. And I really feel like I don't actually think that hard when I collage. Like, somebody was like, "Well, I understand, like," I think the comment went like, "I understand why you would put something like a plant or a flower next to words and stuff. That's like pretty understandable, but like, why would I put like a paint tube or something?" And it's either, if it's not like plant plus words plus ephemera, it's like color schemes, color clusters, complementary color. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm also really enjoying the segmenting of the page with different lines and stuff. I like my collages to be a little bit asymmetrical. So another page where I yet again talk about like my kids, different stationery stuff, and Bridgerton. I watched the first part of it and I'm eagerly awaiting part 2 in June. I'm like, I have thoughts about it. I really do, but I like it. I mean, it's enjoyable. It's definitely something that I will continue watching. But I just feel like it wasn't like season 2 for me. Season 2 was so, and season 1 too, but like season 2 was my favorite. All right, moving on. Then we've got some, what am I journaling about here? I don't even know. Sometimes I write just to write, and I'm like reading back some of this stuff and I'm like, I really just like seeing the ink flow, which is totally fine. I think it's like, sometimes I feel like I don't even have anything of actual substance when I write in my journal. Like, I'm reading back and it's a bunch of sweet nothings, and I think that's also beautiful in itself. Like, I'm just being mindful and making letters and words form, I guess, and writing about really trivial things, but it's so calming. That's also fine. And then this, like, I guess when I really look at these from a vantage point, like from this point of view, I can see that I tended to have darker colors here. And it wasn't even intentional because I read this book, The Scarlet Alchemist, which I really enjoyed, by the way. 4 out of 5, that's what I gave it. It was about ancient China, and it was kind of like exploring the idea that the alchemists in that time actually succeeded in creating immortality. And it was very dark, very gory. But I didn't expect a lot of the things at the end to happen. So I was like, I love when I'm caught by surprise because usually I can tell like what's gonna happen with things, but I couldn't with this one. So I liked it. 4 out of 5. And I guess if I'm really trying to figure out my collage process, it's sometimes related to color. And this was totally unintentional with like there being more black on this page than the other pages because I read The Scarlet Alchemist and I didn't realize the pictures that we took the day after were going to be mostly like black in the picture. This was a birthday party. We went to a trampoline park. It was like my first time ever at such a place. It was so chaotic, so fun. My kids, one of the older kid, he had a lot of fun, but the other one just kind of clung to me. I did get a few good jumps in. And yeah, that was wild. I have never seen that many kids like being chaotic in one place. Absolutely overstimulating. Even the parking lot was overstimulating. But anyways, so on this page, I was writing a little bit about my vlogging and how I want to get back into YouTubing and whatnot, reflecting on some stuff. Yeah. I think I was having a little bit of a rough time, but not like that rough of a time. So it was just like the troubles of daily life and not actually like the troubles of traumas past. Oh, I like the way I phrased that. Okay, so I'm writing more about my kids. We went to the library. Love the library. We go all the time. And yeah, sometimes the pictures that I put have nothing to do with the writing, by the way. I feel like because I haven't been photojournaling in a really long time, I have been making up for lost time by putting in pictures of when my kids were actually really young. So I just chose some of my kids' favorite pictures, no, like my favorite pictures of the kids from when they were little and printed them out. And I just like stick them in random places. So it often is not actually chronological. Like this doesn't make sense. She's this size now, but I wanted to put this baby picture of her. But then on the other side, I'm writing about notebook grid sizes. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, I'm just like trying to boost myself up on this page and learn a little bit about myself. I wrote about how I am so reward-based on this page. Like, if I need to get something done, deadlines and negative consequences are actually more of a hindrance to me. If I give myself a deadline, I find that it just gives me so much anxiety that I don't actually get the work done. But if I promise myself a reward in some way, and it does not have to be like a big reward or anything, like I just need a little bit of extra push, like a little bit of extra intrinsic motivation. It could literally be like a sweet treat or like the promise that I will be able to go read a chapter of my book or something. Like that works out so much better for me than actually giving myself like a negative consequence. Like if you don't do this deadline, like I feel like it's because I'm my own boss, so it's not going to work because I know that like I don't have to mete out that punishment. But doing the reward-based thing for me is working out so much better. So the bigger the dread that I have for a certain task, the bigger my reward will be. So it could be like, I'm gonna get tacos. Like that's a pretty big reward for me because we never eat out. Like we don't get takeout. We're trying to save money. Like we're trying to eat healthier. We grow our own veggies. We like cook a lot at home. And when we do eat out, it's not even once a month. It's like once every 2 months we'll eat out. So going to get a special treat that I really don't know how to make at home, or like I can't get the flavors quite right because it's like a cultural food, like Indian food. I love Indian food, but I can't quite get it right. And it's very labor intensive and so complicated that a huge reward for me will be to go out and get Indian food. But I digress. And then this was the beginning of a long weekend for us in the United States. We have Memorial Day. So I actually did not journal on those days, but I did print out a ton of photos and I backlogged it. And I don't like to actually backlog more than like 3 days at a time. So that is like a long weekend. Otherwise, it gets really overwhelming for me. So the printing out the photos helps so much though, because then I can remember what happened and then go back and fill in my memories of that time. So on the Saturday, we had my mom actually brought over some danta, some Cantonese food, char siu bao, like all that stuff. So good. We're Cantonese, by the way, except my husband, he's Taiwanese. I say that all the time, but he made some pizza bao for the kids. And then we went to a bunch of pool parties. Like not our pool. We don't have a pool, but we went to public pools. So like public community pool parties, I mean, which are so much fun. And we went to the pool literally every single day of that long weekend, multiple pools in a day. It was utterly exhausting, so much fun, and the kids went to sleep so easily. I love pool days. They knock out so easy, and naps are also easy. So I had no time to journal. I can't bring my journal to the pool, you know. I have to keep my eye on the kids and make sure they're safe and whatnot. So my journals stayed completely closed all weekend. We had a little mini play date, and on this day, I wrapped up a big project, took my mom out to some sushi, and we had a great time. It was just me, my mom, and my daughter, so it was like a girls' day. So fun. Haven't been out to eat sushi in like months and months, and it's one of my favorite foods. So on the actual day of Memorial Day, the night before, I watched Madam Web because the kids were so tired from pool that we had time to watch a movie, and I liked it. I feel like it was good. I feel like a lot of superhero movies are unpredictable, or no, very predictable, my bad, but this one was a little bit, you know, different enough for me to actually enjoy it. I do like superhero movies though, because them being predictable is kind of comforting. Here's some dog photo and stickers. I got these from my friend. She sent over a bunch of stationery from Asia, from Taiwan and Japan, and I just love them. So I have been using some of these new things in my journal pages. And then, of course, more gardening stuff. Oh, and I did some Animal Crossing stuff. So my kids, they love Animal Crossing, and I'm trying to build up like a giant mega island of fun stuff, like fill it up with all the fun things from the Hello Kitty Sanrio collab that they did and the Mario items. Like I want to get all of them and make pipes all over the island and just make it really fun on one of the switches. And then I have another one where it's like our residential one. It's very polished and very neat. I decorated it super nicely. It makes a lot of sense as like a normal town, so we can like visit the other island. And we all have our houses on the one island, and then we can go to the other one and go inside the houses. It's like a huge project, and it's just a concept in my brain right now. I haven't started working on like the fun island just yet, but I feel like as the kids get older, they can like add their own twist to that island too. It'll be so fun. Anyways, more gardening stuff. I think I already talked about that. And then that brings me to today. This is the journal entry that I have started but haven't finished yet. So I just did collages, and then I'm going to like fill in the areas where I need to write stuff. And yeah, so if you're wondering about that, I sometimes do all the collages first and then write, but other times I'll like collage and then write and then put a line and then write and then collage. It really depends on like my mood and what I need. So yeah, that's it. And I do want to mention about the photos and stuff because I know people are going to ask about that. Yeah, I do have a tutorial, but it's on my Instagram. It's a pinned post, and then I have a story highlight on my Instagram on how exactly I do this sort of photo printing and cutting, because I used to use just regular photo paper and then cut it with a paper cutter, but this is so much better for me. Like, as you can see, it is not very thick. Did you see how many photos I had on each page? Like, this is not thick at all. And it's like still okay for me to write on the other side. Like, I do like putting this shitajiki on the underside, especially on the left side of the page, but like it's so much easier to write when it's not as super bulky. And I don't mind looking at a bulky journal. I love a good chunky journal. I love when people make super collages and chunk up their journal, but for me personally, I can't deal with it when I write. So that is why I collage so minimally, like relatively to other people. And that's why I use this sticker paper. And it is the Online Labels Glossy White. And like I said, I have a pinned post and it's all the information is there, like the exact printers that I use and also alternatives for equipment and supplies that I recommend, because I know not everyone has access to that. And me being a sticker owner, a sticker shop owner, I've invested in all of these equipments that are completely not necessary for making these sort of photo stickers. So definitely check that out, especially if you have questions about that. And I highly recommend sticker paper over like actual photo paper and like Polaroid photos and stuff. Although I love using my Polaroid camera and taking pics, but that actually gets really expensive too. Like a pack of the Polaroid photo paper is like, I forget, the price is so high, I feel like, for only 10 photos, and it has to be very special, I think. Whereas this is just pictures on my phone, and then I put it into my, Silhouette design studio and make them basically how I make stickers. So that is pretty much it for the journal, and I'll show you real quick what I have going on for my passport one. All right, so let's get right into the passport size, which is what I've been using as a miniature bullet journal. And I'm using my Fern insert for this. And I feel like the only reason that this bullet journal actually works is because of the 3.5 millimeter grid. Like, I know other people do just really fine with the 5 millimeter, but for me, I just have to have that. And on this first page here, I just put some of my dot stickers here, and then I assigned a different category for them. And the tan one is for house stuff like chores and whatnot, errands. Self-care is red, and I assigned it red because I just want self-care to be like a super high priority, and red is a very urgent color for me. And then food is this orangey color. It's just a yummy color to me. Social is yellow. And green is garden for obvious reasons, plants and whatnot. Blue is for media. Purple is for stationery, and I had to give a whole category to stationery. Work is this dusky pink color, and then everything else goes under this gray color. So that's my color code. I feel like the only reason I have a color code is because it's really cute. I don't know if it actually helps me that much, but as you can see, I've used it here to highlight a couple of the days in May. And I also feel like this calendar isn't actually functional and not totally necessary, but I just think it's so cute, and I love to start out a new month with an actual calendar. So yeah, it only really works because of the 3.5 millimeter grid. Otherwise, I feel like I couldn't really write in it. I can't double up on a line. I know some people can do that really well and write super straight, but I cannot. If I tried to fit 2 lines of writing in a 5 millimeter line, it would just be so untidy. So that's this. I really like it. And then these are daily logs. I really just use the traditional bullet journal signifiers. I use a dot for each task, and I just list out things just the way the traditional bullet journal method says to do. But I will also add different collections. So this is a meal plan just for 5 days that I needed it. I don't do this for every week. Everything here is as needed, and I think that's what I like about the bullet journal system is I don't need to do a daily log if I don't want to. So as you can see here, there's more daily logs, and then there's a weekday plan. I just needed to lay out my week from Monday through Friday on this week, and I don't normally do this. So I skipped the 23rd. As you can see, I didn't feel like I needed a daily list for that day. And then here I totally skipped from the 25th to the 27th because that was our Memorial Day long weekend, and I did not need a daily log for those days because I was out and about, very busy, just focusing on family fun. So that is the beauty of having a bullet journal. You can just do what you need to do. And I've already set up my June calendar. I did a little stop motion kind of reel or short. You can see that on my shorts tab in my YouTube channel. And I've really been enjoying just making like very easy short form content. I know I've been neglecting the long form content, but it's just so much easier for me to like take a quick video and then pop it onto TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. And, you know, it's hard to find a time to actually sit down and chat for however long I've been actually talking through this video. But yeah, I've been using those really cute stickers from Taiwan. Those dog stickers I'm obsessed with, and that was kind of the theme of June. And yeah, I'm really excited for June and what it has to offer and what summer is going to bring. So as you can see, I have been like doing less of the planning stuff. Still pretty productive, I would say. Like I did a couple launches and you know, I've been working hard on the shop and, you know, making products, and I have a couple things that have yet to be released. Very productive, but actually sitting down to plan, not so much. But I have been doing a lot of journaling, and I think that's just like what this season of life is asking of me right now and what I've been inclined to do. So it's like the summer of hanging out with the kids, making memories, just enjoying things, and yeah, it's good. It's really good. And then, of course, not shown is my therapy insert, which is in a Fern regular size insert. And I don't have a cover for it, and I don't really want to like lug it around or anything. I do bring this to the library, you know, my notebooks and stuff, or to the park and sit down and write. But I don't want to bring my therapy notebook around with me all the time because that is something that I want to sit down and be in the right mindset for, and then like do that work, that inner work. So these are my actual everyday carry kind of notebooks. Yeah. Well, that is pretty much it. As for my take a note planner, I have not been using that. Yeah, loving my traveler's notebooks right now. Yeah, that is it. I hope to talk to you guys again real soon. I love y'all so much. Until the next video, guys.